Guess what? I was digging around in a box and I found a case with some of my old glasses in it. I used to wear these out to the clubs in the 90s. You know, it's my little, I don't know what you used to call these glasses, but I had some in yellow like this and some green ones and some blue ones, and you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay. But I thought, oh, those are so cute. So I brought them out so I could show you what this is days from my youth, a little remembrance from my youth. It's too funny. Anyway, let's talk about what I want to talk about today, which is trust. And a lot of letters come in to my advice column, with women talking about men who don't trust them. And they're like, what should I do? My boyfriend tells me that he doesn't trust me or that he doesn't trust women or, I haven't done anything. But he's always telling me that he can't trust me. So one girl wrote in to talk about how she was at an event with her boyfriend, and some dude came up to her and touched her. Just basically he touched her butt right in front of her boyfriend, and the boyfriend, instead of getting mad at the dude and checking the dude, he gets angry at her, saying, "Well, you let him do it," and so that now that's his excuse why he can't trust her. So it was like he should have broke up with his ass on the spot. Oh, bullshit ass, punk ass, bitch ass nigger. It's like, how are you gonna let some man rub on your woman's butt and you just don't say nothing? You sit there and look at him and then go get mad at her. So, I that was a different situation. But most of the time the dudes are just saying, just for GP, I don't trust you. And the girls are running around like chickens with no head trying to figure out what to do to get him to trust them. And, so they write to me, what can I do? What can I say? How can I make him trust me again? Or and especially when I haven't done anything, I haven't cheated, I haven't lied to him, I haven't done anything that really warrants him not trusting me. So what should I do? There's so many answers to this question because the bottom line is it doesn't really matter what you do. Some people say, well, you should go about proving it to him. I'm thinking if you've been with somebody for a certain length of time, and generally these women are writing, they've been dating these dudes like 3 to 6 months, or sometimes even longer, like a year or two, when these situations come up. And I'm thinking, okay, if you had the opportunity to be around her all this time and ask her questions and see how she responds to different situations, and you still talking that I don't trust you stuff, then that's an issue with you, especially if you stayed with the woman. If you really didn't trust her, why are you there? So it becomes, in my mind, just a tool to use for control, a way to make women do what I called in that series last summer, jump through hoops to maintain the relationship. And I'm not down with that nonsense. So let's start. Let's start by talking about what truth means. What is the definition of truth? Basically, it means a belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Because this also could apply to like your government. You trust that the ladders that you're climbing on is not going to toss you to the ground like the one that did me and jacked up my knee a few weeks ago. You trust that when you turn on the lights that they're gonna turn on. I mean, we trust in lots of different ways. We're gonna turn the key, our car's gonna start, stuff like that. So that's where the things come in. But basically, when we're looking for trust in a person, we're looking for that person to not hurt us, to be who they say they are, and to do what they say they're going to do. And I'll go into that in a little bit. But if you have a man telling you to your face, I don't trust you, and you stay with him anyway, you're a fool. And that's all I have to say. Because you can't make somebody get over whatever baggage they have or their low self-esteem or their distrust of the female gender based on some shit they mama did or how they first grade girlfriend dumped them and they never got over it. I mean, all these kind of issues that men bring to relationships are things that you have no control over. That's some stuff you need to work out with a shrink. It's not your job to try to prove that you're not like those other women, which is what he's trying to set you up to do. So especially if you have done the things that I'm going to relate to you and proven yourself over the course of the time of your relationship to be someone worth trusting and loving and being open with, then that even further gives proof that the trouble here and the problem is not with you. It's with him. It's within himself. And it's not anything that you can do to change it, because it's not that he doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't trust women, period. He doesn't trust people to be vulnerable to. He doesn't trust in his self to love someone. He's afraid. He lacks confidence and he has low self-esteem. And when you have a person like that, there's absolutely zero that you can do with them. They're not healthy enough mentally and emotionally for a relationship. And so any time that you spend with that individual, it's just going to be time that you could have just flushed down a toilet, and gotten rid of, wasted the time a lot sooner. So to me, if you don't have trust, there's no foundation for anything, because you can't really open up your heart to someone that you don't trust. So it's always interesting when people say, well, I love her, but I don't trust her, or I love him, but I don't trust him. And I'm like, how does that happen? How does that even work? In what world, in what alternate universe does that even make sense? So you're attached to something that you don't, like I said at the beginning, have faith in, have a certainty about, or feel um, that you can rely on, that is truthful and reliable and dependable. So, but you love this person. Well, how does that happen? How does that work? I don't get that. But people say it, and whatever. That's whatever they want to do there. That's y'all grown. Like I said, every time I do a video, people are like, well, you trying to tell people what to do. I am merely making suggestions. I'm merely pointing out things that you may have been doing that's screwing yourself and shooting yourself in the foot, screwing you're screwing yourself over. What you do with the information that I give you, that's on you. You can use it. You can, like, toss it in the trash. I don't care. But there will be somebody out there who finds this information useful. And so that's who I'm talking to. So let's just say, you're in a relationship and it's new, and you want to make sure that you build a strong foundation based on trust. What should you do? What should you do? How is trust demonstrated in a relationship, and how can you build this strong foundation so that if this person later tells you, well, I don't trust you, they're full of shit. Okay, I think one of the number one ways is that your partner says they do what they say they're going to do, and what they say and what they do match. Okay, that's key, and that's where a lot of people screw up. They say one thing but they do another. Well, they say I love you, but then you find them cheating over here. Well, they say, I care about you, but then they gossip about you and spread stuff that hurts you, and gossip and rumors and all sorts of stuff. I mean, what they say and what they do are not in sync. And so, of course, you don't trust them, because you don't know which one is the real them. And people don't get that. They think that they can just come back and say, well, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work like that. Once you have violated someone's trust, it's a wrap. Especially if it hurts them very deeply. And they may say, well, maybe we can try to patch things up. We can try to get back together. We can get over this. Like my dad always said, once roses start smelling like shit, they'll never go back to smelling like roses. So yeah, you can have some reasonable facsimile of the relationship that you had, but it's never going to be the same. And I'm of the mind that, unless you're married and you have kids and have all this stuff, time invested, you just date somebody, which is what we mainly talk about on this channel, singles and dating. It's a wrap. There's no need to continue investing time and energy on someone who's already proven that you can't trust them by their behavior. Okay, not just their words, by what they've done to you. So, to me, that's a wrap. You get one time to fuck over me, and then this is, it's over. Okay, so that's the number one thing. People tolerate that disconnect, that say and do. There's no matching up of that. And the women will come up and tell me, well, he said this, he said that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but what did the motherfucker do? Let's talk about that. You still suck on some words he said 2 years ago. But everything he's done since then has been the opposite of those words, and you still hanging on to those words like a fool. What's wrong with you? But that's what they do. Okay. Then you have to look for the person to be there for you. Now, This is done in sometimes very simple ways, and sometimes in more complex. Like, say, it could be something as simple as, your car breaks down, right? I had this woman, I knew this happened to her. Her car broke down on the freeway. She calls her man, right? He says to her, "Well, I'm in the bed asleep. What do you want me to do?" Now, lucky for her, so there was a guy driving, and she had their daughter, okay, the dude she called, she has a kid with him. So she called him thinking he was going to come and save her and his child. That didn't happen. Luckily, there was a guy that was driving by on the freeway who helped her, and so she was able to get home and everything. But she's still with him. See, where that would have been a wrap. I would have walked in the door packing my shit or throwing him out, one of the two. Because you're not going to leave me stranded like that and not have my back and abandon your kid on the side of a fucking highway at night? And you think he's going to lay in the bed with your fat, ugly ass and think that that's okay? Oh, hell no. We would have been so through that day. We would have been, that would have been it. Rap. See, my tolerance for bullshit is just super low. I just can't do this. I can't do this kind of stuff. So, you're looking for somebody to show you some compassion, some support, some empathy. You want them to identify with what's going on with you. You want them to be sensitive to your problems, to your needs, to your concerns. Not to say they have to run around and do everything and fix all your problems for you. You're looking for some kind of empathy and understanding. You want to feel like they're there for you, that they got your back, right? And you want them to be there for you, not just emotionally, this with the words and stuff, the little platitudes that make you feel better temporarily. You want them to be there physically in what they do. And see, that's where this dude failed big time. Another issue is you want to feel that you're safe around this individual. Now, what happens there? Instead of you guys getting into an argument and he want to swing on you, lock you out the house in the cold. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Oh, so throwing a woman out the car, left her in some abandoned road by herself at night. Just drove off and left her in a different place. I mean, dudes have done all kind of stuff to just show a woman that they don't have any concern about her safety. And, they all in their feelings in that moment, jealous or whatever. And they just leave her, just abandon her to do whatever on her own and get home the best way she can. Another way that they violate trust and when it comes to your physical and emotional and mental safety is cheating, lying, corner cutting, giving you half truths that leave doubts in your mind. When you want to establish trust with somebody, you need full transparency. That's very hard for some people. They don't really want to tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So they're going to give it to you in bits and pieces. But if you have trouble with trust in your relationship, that is not the way to do things at all. You got to just spill your guts and just lay it out there. And, tell your partner what you feel and what you think. I mean, the whole story. Tell them the whole thing. Don't leave any room for doubt for them to fill in blanks themselves, because that is what that puts doubt in their mind, and it lays a foundation for mistrust. You also don't want somebody who is going to hurt you in ways like where they belittle you, they call you names, they discount you. It's called emotional abuse. And we all know verbal abuse, everybody knows physical abuse, but any of those kinds of abuses fall under this category of a violation of your safety, mental or emotional or physical, and create a position where you can't trust this person. You can't trust them. And anytime you have to worry about your safety when you're with your partner, it becomes a case like, what do I need you for? Why are you here? Oh, let me tell you about the story I heard yesterday. See, people are telling me stuff. This dude has a friend who, in the middle of the night, family sleep, you got a little kid, right? His wife's there sleeping, he's sleeping. Somebody knocks on this fool's door. Now, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody coming to your house, with any sense at that time of night. So this fool not only goes downstairs, he opens the door, okay? And it's some dude there asking him, "Can I have a light?" And he says, "No, I don't smoke." And then the dude was like, "Well, can I come in and light my cigarette on your stove?" And dude told him no. But see, this guy was insistent on trying to get into his house. And this dude opens the door with his his pajama pants on. He don't have no kind of weapon. He don't have no kind of sense. And opening the door, and it's this big dude up there. Okay, now maybe it's just me because when you grow up in the hood, you think about stuff like this. Okay, you open your door, you have a very narrow view. You can see straight ahead, and then it kind of widens. You can see parts of the garden or whatever, your walkway. What you can't see is what's right here on each side of the door. Okay, so dude could have had 10 dudes on each side of the door waiting for this fool to open the door. Bum rushed him, raped and killed his wife, raped and killed his daughter, and raped and killed him too. You know how that goes. Stripped everything up out the house, and then, that would have been that. All because this idiot opened the door. Okay, so his wife was, of course, livid. When she feels mad, she's mad. Okay, why is she mad? People are like, why is she mad? Nothing happened. She's angry and upset because he violated her trust in his ability to keep them safe. He did not think about me opening this door is going to put my wife and my daughter at risk. He didn't think any of that. All he was thinking about was the fact that he wanted to open the door like an idiot. Okay, see, again, that would have been like a super ass kicking rather. I would have beat his ass and thrown him out and say, since you like to go open doors so much, motherfucker, go open one at a hotel and stay there because you ain't staying here because you don't have any sense. But the real thing that really concerns me about that is by him opening the door, whoever this dude is, who he doesn't know who the guy is, has now seen inside of his house. Okay, he knows what he looks like, and most likely the guy has been, kind of keeping track of who lives there already, so he knows that that woman and that little girl are in this house. In this era of child snatching and sex slavery, men need to be very vigilant about protecting their homes. If you have a woman that you have to leave alone like that, get her a piece and take her to the gun range and teach her how to use it. You need to, and if you have teenagers, take them too, because everybody up in the house needs to know how to use the weapon, because you never know what's going to go down and who is going to be the one to defend the family. So this particular instance, this guy was such an idiot. I can't even describe the disgust and the rage I felt and the pity I felt for that woman being married to such a dummy. You know what I mean? Just stupid on 900 different levels. Ugh. But anyway, that's a violation. Like I said, these are the kind of things that violate trust. Um, and another one is, did I cover all my little list? Oh, consistency. Big one. People who, what's the term? Flaky, sometimey. You don't really know if they're going to do something or do it or not. And that's one of the things that my mother really taught us as children is that kind of consistency, because that woman was so consistent, it was ridiculous. If I basically her life ran the way she dealt with us, it was on three levels. If we asked her for something and she said yes, then you could go to your grave knowing that the answer was yes. If she said maybe, that means she was going to think about it, and you better not ask her again. And trust me, I know this because my brother made a fatal mistake of asking her before she had really got the time to think about it, and the answer was from a maybe to an instant no. So we learned that lesson not from watching him. Okay, and then if she said no, then that meant no, and it was no, it was going to be no until hell froze over and all the little devils went ice skating, it was still going to be no. So we learned real quick, but that was a yes, no, maybe. And she was very consistent throughout my childhood with those three responses. So, there was no point in keep asking her over and over and over, because then you start getting, she started digging into her punishment treasure chest and pulling out shit and making. We lived in Victorian, right, with those tall windows and whatnot. And see, then she gonna start making you clean windows and wax floors and shit like that. So we knew if she said no, just shut up, just go do something else, because whatever it was you were trying to do is not gonna happen. So you look for that same kind of consistency from your partner. If they say they love you, then they love you. If they say, I'll be there for you every Wednesday to pick you up from school, you know that when you get out from school at 8 p.m. that they're going to be there parked waiting to take you home safely. Stuff like that. You look for that kind of consistency in behavior and word from your partner. If they don't deliver it, it becomes an issue, and trust, gets destroyed. Another issue where trust is harmed is when you feel like your mate is keeping tabs on you. Um, They check up on you. They go through your stuff. They text you 500 times a day. Where are you? What you doing? Who you with? Who does that? Only somebody who doesn't trust you does that. And sometimes it's really not so much that they don't trust you, it's that they don't trust, that they know they can't be trusted. So they're trying to keep tabs on you to make sure that you don't cross paths with the lies and the people that they corner cutting with. They want to make sure that you're in the opposite side of town, or you're in a different neighborhood, or you wherever you still at work. So they doing their dirt, and then they know that you're not going to become a witness to it because you're in some other location. But they want to control where you are. They where your fruit, who your friends are, how you dress sometimes, how you wear your hair. I mean, there's a whole bunch of brothers online ranting and raving about women wearing weaves and what kind of hairdos they have and how they do their nails and whether they underwear matches and all kind of stupid shit. But they just really want to control women on that level. But these are men who can't be trusted. They don't trust you, and you should not likewise trust them. And the final thing is when you have someone who tells you, I can't trust you because, and it involves some person from their past, some situation from the past that they haven't really gotten over, and they want to tell you about, well, this my ex cheated on me, or my ex lied to me, or my ex did this and that, blah blah blah. And my thing, I listen, because you try to be halfway polite. Really, I mean, it's like I'm sitting there looking at them, but am I really hearing the words? No, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, this is a bullshit ass motherfucker. I can't wait to get up out of here. Why do they think I give a shit what some other dumb bitch did to them? This is the thoughts going through my head while I'm looking at them like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, really? Wow. Is that so? Wow. Okay. I just did that as a dim so you could understand. Okay, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care what some other bitch did to you. I mean, why is that relevant? Look at this face. Did I do it? No. If I didn't do it, then I don't want to hear about it because don't be charging me with a crime that I didn't do. That's somebody else did that. They do take that, handle that over there. So, but a lot of you women, you fall for that trap. You be like, oh, I have to prove to him that I'm not like that. I'm better than that. I would never cheat on him. I wouldn't treat him like that. So you want to be going through all these conniptions and doing all these somersaults and backflips and whatnot to try to prove to this man that he can trust you versus this other chick. And I'm thinking, I don't have that kind of energy. My life is on the clock and the clock is ticking. None of my time is going to you about some dumb bitch. It's just not going to happen. So y'all do that if you want to. Deb has negated all that such activity. But that's something that happens. They want you to prove to them that you're trustworthy. And by making that statement, see, it puts you in a position of being challenged and being challenged in a way where you feel like, okay, I have to prove if I want this relationship, if I want this man, then I have to meet this challenge. No, you don't. No, you don't have to. All you have to do is tell them, I hear what you're saying. It's very unfortunate that that happened to you, and I'm sorry that you were hurt. However, that has nothing to do with me, and I'm not going to be going through any kind of changes to try to prove to you that I deserve your love. I'm not going to do that. Either you trust me until I give you a reason not to, and you love me until I give you a reason not to, or there's no point in us even continuing this conversation. And then you get up and you walk the fuck away. If you're on the phone, you say goodbye, and then you hang up. But see, that's how you do. You don't fall for those games. You don't let them manipulate you like that. So, that's some of the stuff I want to talk about, about trusting these women, writing these letters in, talking about these boyfriends and not trusting them. And, I mean, once he tells you that, or once he shows you, because this checking up on you and spying through your phone and all that, I mean, all that's the same thing. Whether he says the words or whether these are the actions, it means that he doesn't trust you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Please don't get stuck on that treadmill, that hamster wheel of trying to prove yourself worthy of this man's love. Because it's like, I'm telling you, you don't understand what a hamster wheel is. Go in any pet shop. They probably have some GIFs on what you call it, on Google or whatever, and you can see it's like that little wheel. The hamster just boogieing, honey, thinking he's putting in 20 miles and he going somewhere, and that little wheel just turning. He's not going anywhere. That will be you trying to gain that man's trust, just wearing yourself out, wearing yourself down to a nub, and it'll never happen because it's here in his mind. He has to decide that he's going to trust you. Let me get some tea. It's all on him. And, trust is that funny thing that you got to have it. And if you find yourself in a relationship with someone and you don't feel that you trust them, you have doubts, if you've been in it for a while, talk it out. Tell them, sit down, talk, have a conversation. Say, my trust is getting a little shaky in you because of blah, 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 blah. And see what they have to say. If there's no improvement in that situation, or the person denies that they're doing anything to cause this trust, when you gave them particular examples and they try to blow it out of proportion and say, well, you're just making things up, you're seeing things wrong, whatever. Go with what you feel. I mean, if you've been trusting this individual all along and suddenly these things start happening that are different and it's causing you concern, it's causing you to feel doubt, and it's making you not trust them, and you feel shaky about the relationship, you feel suddenly insecure and stuff where you never had those feelings before, tune into those. Those are 99.9% of the time 100% on hit. And, then do what you have to do. Always take care of yourself. Respect yourself. Love yourself first. And then, the men who are healthy out there will come to you because, healthy attracts healthy. But if you have a situation where, there's any kind of symptoms of him being manipulative, controlling, unhealthy, and trying to put you in a position where you have to jump around through hoops to gain his trust and, to get him to love you, you need to leave that alone. Anyway, this is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com, closing out a conversation on trust in relationships. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.